Bitcoin monthly close just ahead. We have 8 hours until we close the July candle. You guessed it, it's July 31st, 2023. So what do we need to be watching for next on this close? Well, let's zoom in, right? We're zoomed out to the monthly chart, right? This is the monthly. Look at our Bollinger Bands, still really far apart, but cinching up. On the weekly, they're the tightest they've ever been. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's get to what we want to watch for in 8 hours from recording. So depending on when you watch this, you might already have your answer. But some impending, bad things are potential if we close at this price, right? I would say roughly around 28.5. If we close at 28.5 or lower, what would this candle become? This would confirm as a dark cloud cover. Does that sound good or bad? That would be bad. That'd be crossing the streams bad. As Ray Inkman, Venkman, whatever the hell their name was, in the Ghostbusters, right? You don't want to cross the streams. This would be that, right? Dark cloud cover, not good. However, right, we haven't done that yet, right? So don't panic just yet. Just watch for that 28.5 or less, and the odds go up, right? That's all you have in trading is the odds. Dark cloud cover signals a potential reversal, but guess what? Even if we get that, it's not doom and gloom immediate, right? We're in an uptrend. We're in a bull market. It would just likely lead to increased odds of prolonged consolidation or a little bit more of a cool-off time period. But we would really, ideally, we need to wait for the August close because it's not enough to get the signal. You have to see which way. You want to see the confirmation follow-up. So let's play devil's advocate here and say we close at 28.5, below half of this candle. Give it a benefit of the doubt. Really, like 28.6, 28.7 would start to get pushing our luck here. I would go 28.5 just because that's a definite below half of that candle, right? And then let's say we open up August and we continue to go down, right? That's probably that confirmation that you're getting here, right? So just be warned on that. However, right, say we close down here and then we just come back down to like the EMA 21 and then bounce and we start moving up, and say it's mid-August and we're back at 30K. Well, that might just be a kind of a fake out. So you want to not only get the candle confirming, but you want to have follow through on the following candle. So like it or not, you'd really want to wait until September open to kind of get that signal. So yeah, that can be a hell of a long term. That's why we have shorter time frames to look at, just showing you the biggest picture that maybe you aren't familiar with just yet, or maybe no one's shown just yet. But there might be a couple, technical analysts that are CMT levels that could potentially paint that. You might see in the days and weeks ahead. So you heard it here first, right? Potential dark cloud cover. That's when you make a brief higher high, come back and close below the previous bullish candle halfway below it, right? So warning sign there. However, I don't think that's still the odds, right? The weekly chart, which we'll get to in a moment, still looking good. Tightest Bollinger Bands, but ideally, even if we come down in price over the next 8 hours, we could still end up closing, where we are now or even higher. So this purple line here, that's the median Bollinger Band, also the 20-month SMA, and that line, that number is 28.5, right? By definition, you're more bullish in this upper part of the Bollinger Band. So that's where we are now. So 28.5, that's what I'm marking for the bullish continuation on the odds there, right? So that's the monthly chart. Now let's zoom into the weekly. Oh, one more thing, right? The Gaussian channel on the monthly. We don't talk about this much, right? The Gaussian channel on the monthly, this upper band, historically, in Bitcoin's entire history, once we break above that and close above it, right? You see, we've tried back in April. But once we close above that band on the monthly, it doesn't really come back down much, right? Or at all. Historically, now we only have a couple data points because this is the monthly chart. The Gaussian channel takes some time to come in. But, the past two kind of bull runs, when we get above this monthly Gaussian channel, it's pretty much up only mode. Now we could be at it next month, could take a couple more months, maybe even take until, early 2024, something like that. But just keep that in mind. Gaussian channel on the monthly. Once we break that, it's pedal to the metal, more likely than not. All right. So let's zoom into the weekly. see what we got here. We'll keep the Gaussian channel on for just a moment. Okay, now let's zoom in, adjust the charts a little bit, right? You can see where we're at. We closed our weekly candle just yesterday right on the EMA 8, right? We're still uber bullish because of that. Nothing else, not anyone's opinion, not my opinion, not what some narrative says on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's going to be called tomorrow. Because of your price action is above all moving averages. By definition, you have to lean more bullish there, right? We closed right on it this week, right? We have 6.5 days roughly until we close this candle. Could we wick down to a little bit lower and then bounce? Of course, right? In May of 2016, go check that out. We did something eerily similar to what we're doing now. We wicked down to the EMA 14 just before putting in a massive 3-week like white soldiers pattern where we just, melted up. If we repeated or rhymed with something like that, we'd be mid to upper 30s, even possibly 40s within, a month from now. So keep that in mind. Don't lose sight of it just yet. Watch the pattern. If we close, this week under 28.5, 28.6, then we start to get iffy, right? We close back inside this Gaussian channel, right? The upper band right now is at 28.4. All these things together you want to use to kind of tell a story. It's not one thing you're using. It's the joint, right? Here's the Bollinger Bands, the tightest in Bitcoin's entire history. Not just like over the past bull run, over the past couple weeks. This is over a decade. This is the narrowest the weekly Bollinger Bands have ever been. The bigger move is coming, right? This kind of starts to paint a story if we start to move up again. If we get above 31.5, I think we're going to mid-30s rather quickly, if not higher. So keep that in mind as well. Otherwise, more consolidation or downwards, cool off, right? So we have a lot of things going for us. We'll know something big, maybe even tomorrow, but definitely I would say, at the close of this weekly candle, because we're likely going to close, I would say bullish back above 30K, or we're going to back below 28.5 and likely further consolidation or downwards, more of a test. And to the downwards, right? You always want to look at the upwards targets and downwards targets and not follow just bulls or bears, right? So downwards targets, my first target, if we close, if we start to move downwards more, is 28.5, like I've said, right? The EMA 14 right there, kind of rhyming with that. The 20-week SMA right there as well, 28.5. Top of the Gaussian channel, 28.3. But more importantly, I think this 100-week in the blue and the 21-week right there, that would be my next target below 28.5. That's 27.9, right? We could absolutely bounce off of that. If that breaks, right, with say we close just ultra bearish and we close under both of those, then we're in the spot of bother, as I think Christopher Robin says. And then my absolute next target would be the 200-week EMA, right, where our previous resistance was. We broke above. The 200-week right now is in this pink, and it's at 25.5, right? That would be my next target. Now, historically, Bitcoin has never closed ever back under the median Gaussian channel on the weekly after closing above it. So that would be the worst case scenario in my book at 24.3. I'm just painting the worst case scenarios, right? So I would do this kind of zone, right? I would almost like paint this, fill this in with absolute concrete titanium rebar reinforced, Twitter X, SpaceX aluminum alloy floor right there, right? So that, just based on that, not what I'm saying or thinking or anyone's narrative, based on history, based on the charts, based on the facts, right? So keep that in mind. Weekly chart. So we're still favoring upside, right? Tightest Bollinger Bands in history. We're rhyming with the 2016, 2015 fractal, right? That kind of, we're leaning that way. So based on that, if we do nuke up, keep in mind 31.5, and if you see prices, my phone's ringing, hang on. If you see prices higher than 31.5, I think we could be repeating even bigger than what we did the last phone ring. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it across the room. There we go. It won't stop ringing. Glitch in the matrix. Okay, so to the upside, right, 31.5, and then it could come really quickly and lock all these people that think lower prices are coming that are sitting on the sidelines or have shorts on Bitcoin, it could just absolutely lock them out, because it would go look at the 20. Let's go do it, right? For the 4 of you still watching, let's go look at the 2016 fractal, and keep this picture in mind here, right? This move up, and we kind of holding resistance here. We're putting in higher lows, right? See this? Memorize that, right? And watch. Let me take the Gaussian channel off to keep it cleaner, right? So and then, oh, one more side note before I forget, right? Just tons of information I'd like to pass on to as many people as possible. So that's what we're trying to do. Okay, the order block up here, right? This is our next kind of major resistance. Look at the goddamn prices, right? 41K to 46K, okay? Not that we're going straight there, but okay. All right, so let's go over to 2016 for now, the 3 of you that are still here. It'll load, right? Let me take this off, right? We don't need this right now. 2016, you could go look it up yourself, but I want to just show you how epic this is, because it's looking pretty similar as of now. So 2016 pattern, right? We're going up. We make this move out of the bear market right here, right? This big move, consolidate back to EMA 8 again, test it again, right? Look at all the resistance. Finally go back down to the EMA 14, consolidate for weeks, go back up again, go back down, EMA 14, and then I believe we could potentially, we could be back here, sure. We could also, because the tightest Bollinger Bands in history, I would lead us to believe we're on the cusp of something like this, right? So, again, bullish, 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 resistance, 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 come back one final time, test the EMA 8, and then look at this. I mean, holy shnikes, right? So if that comes, right, this locks all the people out, right? All the people that are kind of bearish or leaning back down here. We're in an uptrend, right? Uptrend, resistance at multiple tests, same thing, holding EMA 8, holding EMA 14 on the weekly, putting in higher lows, right? It's looking eerily similar. History doesn't repeat, but it does often rhyme. I would love a rhyme like that. That would be pretty epic. Right. Otherwise, right, still bull market, just likely consolidation. If we go, if we put a red candle down, you have those lower levels to be looking for, and the worst case scenario as well. But don't be surprised if something like this is not too far on the horizon, right? Just not my opinion. Based on the packs, we've been rhyming with this pretty good, and this is likely what comes next if we continue this rhyme. A lockout. We call this the bull lockout. All the bears are done. Even bulls, where do you buy, right? If you're waiting, it's like, oh, I'll wait till it comes back down, up again. I'll wait till it comes back down, up again. I'll wait till it comes back down, up again. And then you're like, shit, I'll buy in, and then, get some of that liquidity off the table, right? So we'll look at that more, as, time tells. So one thing on weekly, I'll kind of end it there because this is a long ass video. We'll do another update tomorrow for the weekly or for the monthly open, right? It's August 1st tomorrow, I do believe, right? That'll be a Tuesday. Yep. And we'll get to that. We'll address that tomorrow. We'll look at maybe the daily and the 4-hour, or you could join our Telegram and I'll update you there right after this video. Links should be below. Access to the private one, more alerts, more daily videos, personal one-on-one kind of stuff there. So that's through Patreon. Otherwise, you can join our free one. Follow us on Twitter. Put some stuff up there as well. Let's get to our crypto quote of the day. If I click on it, forgiveness is key to action and freedom. I buy it. Car of the day, Dodge Demon. Don't often do a whole lot of American cars because they don't have very many, right? Italy's kind of got the grips on the supercars for now. Dodge Demon, though, is probably one of the best looking American cars, besides maybe the Viper. Go with that. But the Dodge Demon, over 800 horsepower, and comes like from the factory with like racing slick tires. I mean, damn. Still, about 100K. Not too bad. 800 horsepower. If you can find them. There's the logo. Great logo, right? On the fender as well, the badge. Pretty good looking, nice big brakes. Of course, you should have that. You got to be able to stop if you can go. What else do we got? How about a more unique color? I don't know if I would get this. I think I'd probably force myself to get this color because they only made 14 in purple. Be ultra rare, right? Good for resale as well, right? Holds their value. The more rare the options, the better the options, the better the resale. All right. Card advice today, huh? All right. I'll see you on the next one. Monthly close. You know what to watch for. I'll alert you more on Telegram, maybe some Twitter stuff. And then we'll do another Bitcoin update tomorrow to see what the hell has happened. Have a good one.